Well, joining me right now is Spencer Abraham, former Energy Secretary under President George W. Bush. Secretary Abraham, good to have you here on the Intelligence Report. Let me ask you,
Trish.
Is this deal something you would have been comfortable pushing on Capitol Hill if you were still in your seat there as Energy Secretary?
Not at the time I served, just because we had a lot of negotiations that related to Iran and inspections and things of that sort by the international bodies. And every time we had trouble, they withheld information, they made inspections difficult, and then they kept arguing that they were complying. And I think we'll see more of the same.
Do you believe the president when he says this actually would lessen the chance that Iran could have a nuclear weapon?
Well, I think if everything worked perfectly the way he hopes it will, that would theoretically be the result. But the problem you have with Iran is that they frequently make assertions that they don't fulfill. And I think that's what we're likely to see again. The Russians thought they had an arrangement where they would control the nuclear fuel to Iran's nuclear reactors Russia was helping them build. Then they woke up one day and discovered that Iran had secretly been building its own nuclear fuel enrichment capability. So I think we'll see more of that. I think it's very worrisome. I think it's a reason so many members of Congress are uncomfortable with the deal.
You know, it's just kind of hard to do business with someone that you don't trust. And Americans have a hard time, understandably so, trusting a country like Iran, which has sponsored terrorism, groups like Hezbollah, Hamas. Let me just share with you, Secretary Abraham, Americans, when they have been polled on whether or not they approve of this deal, of the 79% who know of the deal, 48% of Americans disapprove. Only 38% approve. You know, you look at Capitol Hill right now, where the majority of lawmakers also don't approve, and I think the president's got a tough row ahead of him.
Yeah, and of course, he's fighting against the facts of the past. He knows, as does do the American people, that not only has Iran not been complying with previous agreements, but that they have used what resources they can to sponsor terrorism. Under this deal, they'll have more resources when they start exporting oil, which can go for these same evil purposes. And I think that collectively makes Americans, whether they're members of Congress or average citizens, very frustrated and concerned.
When you think of what Congress could do you anticipate that they will put up obstacles, as they've indicated they would? And if so, the president then vetoes anything that they put forward? I mean, how might this play out in the coming months?
Well, it seems likely enough votes exist to prevent passage or to allow passage of a statement of disapproval. The president seems so committed to the deal that he's likely to veto it. And it would seem most likely that he has enough influence and enough support on Capitol Hill, at least among Democrats, to sustain his veto. On the other hand, at that point, we will be going forward with a deal that would have been rejected by Congress and by a significant number of Democrats. That's hardly the kind of way that you would want to proceed on foreign policy. But I think they now have invested too much in this, and I think the president and his team are going to, really be left in a very difficult situation, especially if Iran begins to move away from full compliance with the arrangements that have been agreed to.
Yeah, Secretary Abraham, indeed, he is in a tough situation. We will watch it carefully, and thank you, sir, for joining us here on the program today.
Thank you.